What was it exactly you found during your lot in the investigation?
Other than a lot of scrolls and mentionings of musings about what's going on in the Empire and the chicken feathers that led us here, didn't find a whole lot. Other than get some more details about when he was found and that kind of stuff, but
Should we allow some time to pass and head to the cave to give that boulder another shove?
I'm for that plan.
Might look a little strange leaving and then come back immediately with more people. Are you alright, Akoto? You look aggravated since,
That's just, there are many, many things on my mind currently right now. You'll have to forgive me.
That's no worry.
It's a bit worrying about everything that has turned around this rate.
Yes. Oh. Everyone has their bits. Let's
So I
wait
coyly
about an hour.
reach
There you
out
are.
to try to take the missives from them. I think Kashi has them.
Yes.
Coded, right.
What was that?
I was just reading the notes about finding notes that were gibberish and possibly coded or something. So I was like, oh yeah, we should hand that to the scorpion.
And my notes have something here about dead chickens.
Yes. Several of the chickens had died suddenly, like the day.
Yeah, like it seemed like they were practicing on the chickens or something.
Yeah, it was the day before Satsumi was found dead.
Definitely practice. It's a bit weird to do that so close to the scene, though. Better assassin would have done it far off.
And depending on who it was, if it's somebody who lives in the Emerald Champion's, castle here, coming and going too much would be just as suspicious as the finding the chickens the way they were. So
This is true too.
what I should have done is bring a bottle of water upstairs. I'm gonna go grab one.
Probably just look over the business for about an hour then. Get everybody up to go to that cave and push on the rock for a while.
Do you let
And if
Do you let Kagi take his the notes, the notes that you found?
Oh, he asked for them?
He, like, while everybody's talking about other stuff, he's, like, slowly sort of very nonchalantly, like, reaching out, like, coyly trying to, like, just take them from you.
Trying to sneak a finger in there and just, no one noticed that.
Yeah, like, I'm picturing, like, you're sitting there having a conversation and, talking with your hands, kind of. So, like, he's kind of like, as you're moving your hands around, he's like, trying to grab them up.
Yeah, pretty
Are
much.
they legit his notes, or?
The one was very directly, like, as far as you could tell, wasn't coded at all. Was, um, addressed to him.
Trying to think of the social ramifications of just letting Kage walk off with him.
Yeah, it was basically from Shoro Hamutsu. Basically said, excellent job reporting in and maintaining appearances.
Oh, yeah, keep your wits about you at the Emerald Castle. Thanks for keeping me informed.
Yeah, exactly. And the other one just seems to be gibberish.
I'm sorry, my memory's still rattled. How did we come about getting these notes?
They were stuck in between
the-
boards around the chicken hen.
Yeah, OG.
They were we
OG found them. You guys didn't actually
found them?
Yeah, he found them wedged between some boards like the previous night.
Oh, in that case, I'll do the a-hole thing of just kind of slipping in between myself, whoever has the paper, Kage, I assume, and him. Just, hello, can I help you?
Didn't he hand you the paper? Pretty sure you have it.
Yeah.
Oh, was it me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have it.
Yeah, you have it. That's why I've been
Alright.
coyly trying to
No.
snatch them.
Okay. Oh, do the pass. Instead, do the pass to Kage, turning around to Kage. Hello. It's an interesting posture to have behind somebody. May I help you?
Perhaps I can read the other missive and see if it is from someone in my clan.
If anyone's an expert in gibberish, I've heard you would be.
Was the Henry was a drop-off point for secret missives from Scorpion to Scorpion. Of course, it will have to be changed.
Changed in what way?
It's no longer a secret, is it?
Fair enough. Once 5 people know about something, secret's out, isn't it?
As far as the dead chickens, if it was Scorpion, it's very sloppy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly what I was thinking.
which means if someone knew about the drop, they could be trying to pin it on the scorpion.
It'd be an easy frame to set. No offense.
Mighty Oni from the sky. Crispy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm sorry. Did you guys ask me something?
I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
Would composition be a good one to decipher this gibberish?
Where's composition? Oh, up there. I scrolled down too far.
Artisan.
I think that's more doing composition. I think this would fall more under something under scholar. That's what I was trying to figure out. But the closest that I can think would be would probably be government or culture.
Ah,
I think a void culture check for analyzing would probably be one of the best way for that.
Well,
'Cause
analyze
each
would probably be
clan
more
has their own
like wind.
Oh, sorry, I had the two backwards.
could I convince you to do sentiment?
Or would it be skullduggery because it's
Ah,
it's a code?
I could see skullduggery.
that's true.
I actually have skills in skullduggery, so that's why I try to argue the point.
I'd say TN4 skullduggery. I am going to use the scholar versions of the elements. You know what I'm saying?
Approach.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I would say TN4 wind if you do wind 3 and 5 if you do fire.
My TN is 3.
If you're using the wind approach to like analyze it.
Beautiful.
Nice.
There's your 3. Just
Here's my 3.
Just keeping the 3 successes.
Yep.
Okay. Unfortunately, without a actual like code breaker cipher, you're not going to be able to decipher that. But with the successes on the analyze, you are able to figure out that it's not an just very easy like gimmicky, every number is a letter sort of thing. It very much will require a very specific, probably one of a kind, probably, some sort of deal where there's like different wheels on a device that actually you turn to different things to get the actual letters for the thing. So it's definitely something that was meant for a specific person, not just handed out. You know what I'm saying? Like they would have to have the same sort of encryption device that the other person would have had to make the code in the first place.
So, Kashimura, I can say with full levity that whoever this was intended for was a specific individual, as a cipher would be needed to crack this code. This is not a generalized missive to any one person. And I regret that I do not have the cipher. So you
When
can
was the
stop
last
staring at
time-
me like that.
I never will. Does that mean when was the last time Sashura Matsu was seen?
I don't believe my lord has been to the Emerald Castle for some time.
Hmm. Need to find out who this was for. Would it be worth talking with the people that run the Henry? See if they caught anyone coming in, coming by.
That's who we had talked to who gave you the missives.
OG.
Yeah.
God damn it, man. Pay attention.
Sorry, it's Akota's cousin has been on my mind this entire time. It's hard to focus.
I love the fact that Makoto's cousin is on each of their minds, but for totally different reasons.
Somewhere his cousin sneezes. Someone's thinking about me.
You guys are having this
Truest yin
exchange.
and yang.
You guys are having this exchange, and Kyo's just smirking in the corner.
If you ask OG about anybody that's been around the area, he tells you the only person that really ever visited was the Emerald Champion. He used to come here and ask about the birds and seem to have a real interest in hennerizing. I'd spend a lot of time down here. We'd, talk about the weather and the birds and the quality of the eggs. I think he already brought this up. I think he just really liked eggs for breakfast.
Did he go anywhere particular, or was there a favorite hennery or location he would like to particularly inspect?
No, he just come here and pass the time. I think he just wanted to get away. Seems like he had a lot on his mind.
To escape to a Henry, sure enough.
Out of curiosity, are all the chickens are they all in one huge area with cages, or are they kind of like separated out, the cages?
It's like the Henry itself is a building where they sort of live in, but he has a tendency to let them wander around outside, like in this area. It's sort of fenced in, but they're not really kept in individual cages, but they have their own little like nests, sort of thing. Like they each have their own space in the actual Henry, but they also are free to wander around to a certain extent out there.
So half free range, half coop chickens.
You don't think think they'd be foolish enough to leave the cipher in their room, do you?
Stranger things have happened.
Search room by room during the day.
Samurai housekeeping.
Would they even let us do that? No. That'd be hard to keep inconspicuous.
Yeah, four clear fighters that are educated show up and pick up a broom. Someone's gonna ask a question.
Yeah. Entering every room SWAT team style.
And it would doing something like that, if you're seen, would also have potential honor or glory impact as you're seen doing peasant work.
Hit me right in the honor.
Hmm.
Uh, um. Let's go check
It would be
over our
relatively minor, depending, but just saying.
more investigation to do.
How much time do you have before
Yeah,
dinner?
might find something.
Not too much time. If you wanted to go back to the cave, you'd probably have enough time to do that. Chances are, at this point, with dinner being so close, there's probably not anybody in the cave. Probably after dinner, people would go there to, have their after dinner pipe or, relax in the evening. But right now, everybody's probably headed that direction. It's not quite time yet, but getting there.
Maybe we have some mountain tuna tonight.
I've got rope, a grappling hook, and a stick. I think we can make that rock move.
Is that where you guys want to head, to the cave? Or you could head, like, it's
Yes.
close enough that if you wanted to mosey your way over to dinner, you could.
I like dark holes. Let's go to the cave.
Finally, we have something in common.
All right. Heading back to the cave, you find it in the same condition you left it in. It doesn't seem like in the hour or so that since you've left, that anybody else has been in there, as far as you can tell.
Good.
You said when you two tried to move the stone, you got it to move just a little bit where you could, see that it was covering something, but you couldn't get it past that point.
Yeah, could not see into it. Just barely made it move. When we last year, did we check to see if it had been moved prior, like there were scuff marks? Or I can't remember if we did or not.
You guys did.
Mm. Mm. Bless you, sir.
Sorry, John, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt
that's
you.
okay.
Well, I'll be happy to assist if I can.
I wonder if we could create a simple
quite a-
lever. Use my bow, bounce it over something, and see if we can get it under the edge of the rock and give a good levered push, maybe a little bit more force under it. Or I have rope in my bag. If we can get a piece of rope or a hook onto it and tie it around the middle of the bow, we could kind of use it like a plow pole.
Well, the issue is
Oh,
that it seems to push inwards.
Oh,
So we can't get the rope around it. there's a wedge point if someone had a pole of some type
I'll
with the small opening you made.
I would say it's wide enough. There's enough space there that 3 people total could push on it. So that'd be 1 person and 2 assists.
Yeah, I'll help out. Pushing.
Kodo will get in position to push as well.
I'm assuming this will be a fitness check, more than likely, to try and get it to move.
TN3 fitness check, water 2, fire 5.
To go for water to try and, literally shift the stone. So if we have a wedge point, I can get my bow in there. We can try and use that as a lever to give a little bit more oomph behind it, and hopefully we can get this to move. Make sure done this properly. Fitness, water, yes.
Then you've got the 2 assists.
Yeah, am I adding black or white dice for those guys?
Black dice from Makoto.
Black.
Roll. Same time.
That's a lot of successes.
Just for the hell of it, I might as well, because I've got the explosives just to see what happens. Okay. Woohoo. Alright, if this has another explosive on it, I'm done.
Well, you have to take that strife if you take that last well, I guess it doesn't matter.
I just wanted to...
Unlimited power!
So, yeah, I'm gonna... I guess would take the initial black success, the explosive, with the assist, and then that explosive led to 2 more? And the opportunity? That's
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total?
Yep, with a strife.
I'm okay with taking 1 strife to get a bunch of successes.
Well, you have the
trying to move
opportunity. You
this
could
thing.
use the opportunity to get rid of the strife, so.
I'll leave it balanced then.
Okay. With the assistance of everybody, you manage to push the boulder. It slides across the ground a little bit and reaches a certain point, and then very easily, kind of slides out of the way, revealing a continuation of the hallway. Just inside of the cave that you've just revealed, you see a small candle and a flint, as well as a small metal bar that looks like it was used to help pry the stone from the other side.
Who wants to light a candle and go down an unknown dark hole?
I've got some candles, sure.
I smile at Kashi.
I'll
winks.
accompany those 2 just in case. Two enter the cave and only 1 comes out. Darndest thing.
Looks like we're all going into the dark hole.
Okay.
Excellent. Down to 5 candles.
Well, there was one sitting there with a flint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Back to 6. Got it.
Should we reclose the boulder after we enter the cave?
Probably be a good idea, so if anyone comes in behind us, they don't wonder who's, where they shouldn't be.
Wise thinking there, Koda.
It's the way the lion thinks 5 steps ahead.
Or perhaps Koniko just didn't want anything sneaking up on it.
How exactly do you plan on pulling it back into the...
Trust me, there's only one thing I'm worried about sneaking up behind me. And Kodo kind of looks at Soshiro.
Hmm.
Oh man.
I'm going to bow, feigning, being hurt. I do have performance if I need to roll that.
No, you said there
Gomen Nasai.
I
said
picture
there was
you
a
like
metal
putting
bar
your
there,
hand
but-
over your heart and just being like, "Oh, you cut me so."
You said there was a metal bar next to the candle that looked like it had been used to pry the rock from the other
Yep.
side. Well, we can use that to slide the rock back the way it came from, I guess.
Yeah, now that you've gotten it sort of unstuck, I'm not going to have you roll every time you need to move the boulder. Unless it's in a rush, we'll say.
Hint, hint. There's a demon down here.
Welcome to my cave.
It's the Crypt Keeper.
I mean, on that thought, before we go into the hole, does anybody want a shot of sake?
I'll take that.
Same here.
If we die, at least we will die with warm bellies.
Absolutely. Takes a big swig. Hands it back. Thank you.
Anytime. I can always be relied on for a snack or a drink.
You all enjoy your sake.
Deeply appreciated.
The sake is
Become-
also cursed.
Snacks, you say? We shall be great friends.
Everyone
health.
roll resilience. That's a thing in No5, right?
Everybody that took a shot of sake,
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
go ahead on your character sheets. Remove 2 strife. As you
Beautiful
sort of
man.
take
Thank you.
a quick, relaxing swig of sake with your compatriots.
I don't care what the others say about you. You're alright.
All right. Flies forward we go.
Okay.
Kind
Sorry, go ahead.
of, I say being quiet would probably be prudent in case anyone happens to be further in.
Ah, yes. Good. Fair point.
Traveling through the tunnel, you eventually see up ahead several papers. They're sort of not sat down. It looks like they're sort of strewn about a bit. Perhaps dropped by accident as someone moved with haste through the tunnel. What direction they were moving is impossible to say. You do note with sort of the dust on the ground and everything, they're relatively recent, and there are no like footprints on the papers.
I'll gather up the papers.
Kodo will ask for one of the papers from Toshiro. And he'll examine
Try
it.
holding it up to the candle flame if it's nothing on the page.
Several of the papers are written in a elegant handwriting in blue ink. Since you've already looked at some of Satsume's writings from his room, it is very much his style of script. Most of the writing concerns his duties and various meetings as the Emerald Magistrate and like other mundane like official business. There are other papers that are not so mundane. In the same handwriting, there's various correspondence concerning the unjust nature of how Rokugan is governed, specifically about the imperial family and its fitness to rule. A lot of the handwriting on these doesn't match any of the script, the handwriting that you've seen already, but does appear to be addressed to Setsume.
Kodo's brow is gonna furrow. This is ominous, to say the least.
You you took that book from the library?
Yes.
I would say using that book, you could do a TN2 government or skullduggery check to sort of get an idea of what some of these writings are kind of about. If you wanted to go to the library and use the full resources that are available there, I would reduce the difficulty, the TN of that to 1.
And you say it's a TN2
Yep.
Government check?
Yep. And
I'll go ahead and... Would this be survey then? As I'm comparing the two notes?
Yeah. Or if you looked at any of the other books, I you know.
I'll try to get what I can get from
Okay. And
from right now.
Bonus successes will potentially make a difference on this one as well. So.
All right, sounds good. I'll ask the group, like, excuse me, could someone please give me a hand and shed some light over here as I take out the book and start scanning it, comparing the notes.
I will definitely help to not peer over your shoulder and read it myself.
Walking right down the tunnels for movement.
That might be the most non-sneaky you've been yet, Kage.
That's beautiful.
I'll take all 3 of those successes
Okay.
and take the 1 strife.
All right, Balance. You've got the opportunity on the other success.
Yep. Oh yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So I take no strife. What am I able to find out so far?
The writings that are addressed to Setsume seem to be the same sort of what's the word I'm looking for here?
Before we continue,
Yeah.
Can you add black dice for me, kind of peering over his shoulder and trying to point out anything?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. Excellent.
All right, make that 2 bonus successes.
Okay. The contents of the papers addressed to Setsume seem to follow the teachings of a heretical group known as the Kalat. Its members refuse to acknowledge that the Emperor has a right to rule and seek to eliminate the role of the Kami-founded great clans. With your bonus successes, you find a bunch more information about the Kalat. Like the Empire, The Kalat arose when the Kami fell to Rokugan. For those who are not steeped in the lore of L5R, the Kami are basically the gods. While others bow to the might of the heavens, this discontent group, now known as the Kalat, chafe at being ruled by those descended from gods. The ultimate goal of these groups is nothing less than to overthrow the Hentai dynasty and allow humankind to rule itself. To this end, they have established a network of spies, saboteurs, and deadly assassins across the Emerald Empire, and perhaps even beyond. Among the Kalat's most terrible weapons are their sleeper agents, who may operate under the assumed identity for years, even decades, collecting information and awaiting the call to more severe deeds. For their successful deeds, especially the assassination and corruption of prominent imperial officials, to become exposed would surely weaken the Empire and cause great harm to Rokugan.
Okoto's hand is going to noticeably tremble as he's reading through this and as he's putting two and two together. And he kind of looks a little bit pale. And he's going to turn to Soshiro. And Soshiro-san. Do you know what this means?
This is treachery of the worst kind.
And it seems to be aimed at our Emerald Magistrate as well. Or our Emerald Champion. And I'll turn to the rest of the group. Tell me, what do you know of Rokugan's enemies?
I don't know much other than tainted and how to deal with them, friend.
I know of the Tainted, but the Goblins and Ogre were the first time I've ran into them personally.
We're talking more serious. Not more serious, but more.
But besides the Scorpion, shows the value of his knowledge right there.
Step forward with my hand on my blades.
By chance, with this cave, does our voice kind of echo?
A bit, yeah.
Okoto will go to the others and like, let us save this conversation for more hospitable lodgings.
The cave does continue on. Chances are, like, since you pushed the rock back closed, nobody. If there's anybody in like the other section, they wouldn't be able to hear you. But without checking out the rest of the cave, who knows what's going on further in.
Okoto's gonna hold up his candle. Is the flame moving at all?
A bit.
Is that like a breeze in here?
Yep.
Oh,
It appears that this cave has another exit. There's a slight breeze in here.
Ever wise.
But lean forward.
Does this?
Go ahead.
I can't recall. This place was made purposefully, yeah? It's like an escape route for the... I was just about to ask if it, like, was like somebody carved it themselves or if it'd been there, made purposefully.
It's hard to say. It looks like it's mostly natural. There could be sections that were sort of cleaned up.
Hmm.
I'm gonna lean forward and light my pipe off of the candle and start walking. If this is where I'm meant to die, so be it.
Bless you, sir.
I came from a dark hole, I may die in one.
continuing the rest of the way through the tunnel. Pipe smoke wafting through the air. You eventually get to the other end of the tunnel, and it just comes out on the other side of the castle. It seems this is, from discussions that you've overheard amongst other people, this is probably one of the ways, at least, that Satsumi was able to disappear and reappear at different times without anybody knowing where he was at.
Makes sense. Also makes for easy access that way.
And you say it leads us out on the other side of the castle?
Yep.
Do we recognize where we're at, area-wise?
Just outside the castle, like it sort of goes around and comes down to like the base of the cliffside. So it's not like looking down where you'd have to like climb or anything. It's very much like a comes out at ground level.
Does it by chance lead back into the castle, or do we see a way back into the castle itself?
From where you're at, you'd have to go back around to the like main gate. But from where you're at, no, there doesn't seem to be like an alternate way into the castle, besides the cave. And like I said, you'd have to like go the whole way, or like you're on the back side of the castle, pretty much.
Lavitz is burping.
Side note for my fellow players, I'm continuing my note taking for the session and the investigation, so that way we have stuff to brush up on next time.
Thank you.
Domo arigato.
Welcome back.
Dankeschön.
So I'm assuming this is this area that comes out of there. It's kind of like a blind spot for guards. Like no guards can see into the area.
I mean, there would be lookouts that would be looking out. Like, it's a relatively flat area. So, like, if he was to, if someone was to like go out like with torchlight in the middle of the night across the fields, somebody may notice. But they're not necessarily watching for a lone person sneaking up the back of the castle necessarily. Especially if they're leaving, So the cave itself is like right in the side of the cliff face. So from up above, you wouldn't be able to see like straight down to the cave, but
Are there any recent footprints or trails around the mouth of the cave?
yeah, there seems to be several footprints to and from the cave that look to be at least a week or so old. A little too long to get like exacts or anything, but it's definitely like sort of the grass outside of the area is a little worn. Like you can definitely see, it hasn't been used in a little bit. Again, sort of around roughly the same time since Satsumi's death.
Looks like this path was not used very often, I'm afraid.
How prominent are the footprints? Is it possible to like at least discern kind of a body type of the person from the footprints? Or are they like way old?
I mean, it's a couple of weeks, and you know, there's been some weather, so it's like it definitely seems like most of the footprints are um, the same type, but it's pretty much impossible to discern specifics. There does seem to be um, some hoof prints back there as well. Those are a little easier to notice. They're definitely you know, left more of an impression. Um, but again, it seems like something that's, you know, not that often compared to the like human tracks, but definitely there.
Hoof prints.
When you say hoof prints, you mean like deer size or like horse size?
Like horse size.
Huh.
And it's hard to get exact on that. It could be like I apologize if someone is an expert on these things and I'm talking out of my ass, but it could be something larger, like an ox, like not necessarily like a riding animal, but like a load-bearing animal. It's, you know, it's one of those things where it's like they left an impression, like in the. It's mostly rocky, but there is enough like dirt on the rock that they, you know, leave an impression, like in the on days where it rained and stuff. But it's also um, sort of been blurred to an extent. Like, you know, you leave a footprint in the snow and look at it a day later, and it looks like you've got feet 3 times the size of what they actually are. So they're kind of askew from the wind and the rain. Like, it's not deep soil that's or grassy enough that it's not gonna, when it's dry, it's gonna get blown around and erode from the wind, and when it's rainy, it's gonna, you know, sort of collect extra sediment from, you know, the rain coming down the cliff face and that sort of thing.
Is the tunnel big enough to suggest that it could hold something as big as a Clydesdale size or ox size?
Sorry, what was that again?
I was asking if the tunnels were carved out big enough to seem to be able to handle like an ox or a Clydesdale, some big labor animal.
No.
Ooh. That's interesting. I don't know what to make of that.
I mean, you might be able to like lead a pony, you know, like a small pony through there, or something. Like maybe even something large enough, like a small horse to ride on. But even then, you'd from the cave that you guys came down, you'd have to lead it through some fairly narrow stairs down to here to get it through. And you've heard a few people mention like him coming and going, and sort of mention of the cave and stuff like that, but no one said anything about him bringing a horse.
Possibly be hauling back.
Would Ryu's cart by chance be able to fit through here?
Through the cave?
Yeah, the path in the cave and everything.
Nope.
Remind me again where where exactly these tunnels terminate?
What's that?
Remind me again where these tunnels terminate, or are we still going through?
It just basically goes straight on through the sort of mountain that the castle is built on, and comes out the backside of the castle, down onto the from you guys started sort of at a cliff top, and it's sort of like very slight in decline down to ground level at the back of the castle.
I think the only way we're going back in is the way we came out, because if we just come strolling through the main gate and we were last seen on the other side of the grounds, I don't think we magically fell and survived is going to be a viable explanation.
Very, very
Okay,
true.
let's suggest we.
How much time has passed since we entered that cave?
Probably about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. While you guys are standing out there, you hear off in the distance, sort of echoing throughout the off the cliffside, the sort of dinner bell announcement.
We should probably get back very soon, so as not to miss our meal.
Maybe keep it down. One that may be missing. Let's be suspicious in nature.
What the hell was that? Did someone catch what he said?
No.
Was it robotic or just too quiet?
Very muffled.
What about
Yeah,
now?
a lot better.
That's a lot better.
Okay. I was saying make sure to keep an eye out for anyone that seems to be suspicious looking or that's missing in particular. Like if you notice the service missing or anything like that.
So we're looking out for anybody more suspicious than us at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. He looks like he has a guilty conscience.
I'm all for kind of making our way back. Hopefully we can catch the end of the meal and
Oh yeah.
maybe listen in on some conversation as well.
Turned out the guy full on admitted it during dinner and we missed it.
Oh, job's done.
Good job.
Just unmasked and had an emotional breakdown in the middle of the meal.
I wasn't going to say anything, but this pot roast is amazing, and I feel compelled to.
It turns out Isamu caught the guy.
Oh god, that'd be the worst.
Or is the guy?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun,
Hey, trials are based more on testimony and less on evidence. So
Oh, so we could just point at somebody and get this job over with. Cool.
You guys head back to dinner.
I will ask Ashura. Ashura-san, can you tell me what you know of the Emerald Magistrate? Or the Emerald Champion?
Me? Let me see. Looking at my madman rambling notes here. He has passed away. His wife passed away before he did. his bearing nature and personality drove her to an early grave is what's whispered amongst the normal people.
That coincides with what I've heard as well.
Everything else that I know about him, you have been with me as well, hearing about his nature of running back and forth, being known to kind of poop for long periods of time, but I didn't know him personally. But then again, he was Crane family. Would I know anything about his family at all?
As far as his family, he has a daughter that since his wife's death, they were never really close to begin with. But since her death, their relationship was even more strained. He was relatively popular amongst the Crane, being that he's Crane clan and really second only to the Emperor as far as status goes.
Sense.
But his style of leadership was very strict, and it caused a lot of strife between him and the Crane in general and the other clans. There's a lot of talk amongst leading members of the other clans especially that they do not want someone else from the Crane to be the Emerald Champion again.
That's a little disappointing. What was the what was the daughter's name?
I have that somewhere.
Don't worry about it. I'll just leave a space. Don't worry about it. Despite that, I believe he was unfortunately fit into the stereotype of the typical Crane clan. Very perfectionist attitude, overbearing, caused a lot of strife between his familiars and people who met with him, knew him at all. Apparently so much so that there's folks out there that would say they don't want Dick Brain as the Emerald Champion again, despite our reputation as such.
Labbits, you are not allowed to do my eulogy. He was a large man. He was a joking man, and now he's a dead man.
Thank you. Goodbye.
He was born on a Monday, christened on Tuesday.
I wrote his eulogy much like I wrote his will. In blood.
I write eulogies the same way I do prayers for dinner back when I was a kid. Yabba dub dub, thanks for the grub. Amen. And then you just start eating before your grandma smacks you.
The daughter's name was is Doji Hitaru.
Dude, I'm gonna butcher the spellings, but I'm adding a couple things to the top of the notes about his ruling and whatnot, since that would be information we should have asked for like 2 sessions ago, but didn't.
True. I feel like I'm big enough of a nerd. I feel good about my spellings. Apparently he had a daughter, a Doji Hitaru. I'm not sure where she would be currently, though, in this situation.
Well, if anyone would know, it would be So.
So?
The Emerald Champion's personal assistant. Manservant? I'm not sure the proper term for it. The gentleman that we spoke to on our way to the library, the one that found him. He seemed rather knowledgeable of his lord's comings and goings, and was very fervent in making sure things were done the way that were preferred. So he would probably have, some kind of tabs on the family as well, and, make sure that things were being taken care of the way that they wanted as well.
Oh, yes. I think you had made point of stating that it was strange that he wouldn't have found the body sooner than he did, with as close he was to the champion and his schedule.
I'm gonna have a
Reading
book
the
by the
notes
time.
wrong.
I'm gonna have a book by the time we're done this investigation, but I'm trying to be detailed in. But the nice thing is at least we have plenty to go back on session to session too.
Oh yeah.
Can I highlight stuff just? I know. I am going to use the highlighter. If I could find it. Oh, no.
That's fair.
There's no highlighter. Son of a bitch. You know. So what I'm going to do for session to session with these is I'm going to. Oh, it does highlight it. I'm going to highlight the beginnings of each session in red, like the first notes taken session to session, so we just know we don't have to go too far back unless we're looking for previous details for things.
Okay.
So we're off to fill our bellies and listen and
Okay.
come up with our next step, I guess.
Luckily, coming out of the cave, it doesn't seem like anybody's in there. Close the boulder behind you. It's a bit of a struggle, but now that you have an understanding of the weight and shape and movement of this boulder, it's significantly easier. You can see how even somebody that may have had some infirmaries due to age was able to get through here by themselves. Tonight, the dinner is special. They are celebrating the Festival of Millet, a holiday that honors farmers and is specific to this area, the plains around the castle of the Emerald Champion. All the inhabitants of the castle are there. Including your cousin.
Of course.
There's also a
Well,
few more of.
Let me interest.
There's also a few more of the more important peasants from Takahara Village. They're seated far off in a separate section from the samurai, but they are there. It's sort of a festival that celebrates their hard work. So the dining hall is more crowded than usual, and by the time you guys get there, you can see that the sake was started very early as part of the celebration. So there's already some inebriation going on. Several people are talking, back and forth. Some of the things that you overhear, there's a few people that seem to just accept that the investigation is done, and that if the investigation said it was natural causes, it's natural causes. Like, he's been Emerald Champion for a good many years. He was getting up there in years. Like, it happens. Others sort of don't buy it. They sort of talk around the subject more, less like more indirect than the people that are buying the investigation, because they don't want to, you know, dig themselves into a corner or anything. But it does seem to be a few people, sort of through the course of different conversations, have their suspicions of foul play and who may or may not benefit from such a thing. One of the things that you as you're sitting there enjoying your meal and presumably sake, one of the things that you overhear is someone that's you saw in your class this morning talking to another student for Emerald Magistrate that's in training. Who are these new samurai here for training? They can't be the ones from the Topaz Championship. Those were heroes. These are mere children, and their training is set for only a few days. Why is Samiko favoring them?
Because we are skilled.
Someone else, you pick up part of a conversation over the din. Setsume spent too much time with the peasants. It's clearly why death came for him. Over on the other side of the room, Kagai is obsessed with the Kalat. He sees them everywhere.
Who specifically said that?
It's older gentleman. He's talking to. It looks like an instructor for one of the one that you met this morning. That's not the guy that said it, but what was his name?
Kage with an I?
That was one I did
Seppan
miss in the
Hakuto
notes.
is who he's talking to, who's was your investigator trainer. The older gentleman is wearing the garb of the Unicorn Clan, though you have not met him already.
I'm going to take my
Is
leave
it
of this
being-
situation.
No. I was just about to say I watched Kage since it involves a unicorn.
What's that?
I was just about to say I watched Kage's reaction since it involves a unicorn.
He doesn't seem to overhear it.
Do I recognize her at all? Like while I'm chowing down on dinner, is she a familiar face? Like, we haven't met her yet, but do I
No,
know of her?
No, it's probably it's a dude. Probably somebody
Oh,
visiting,
sorry.
trying to you know, broker some. People come and go from the castle all the time. Like some of them to bring prisoners here, some people to argue case law. You know that there's 1 second.
That's what's going on. I'll stay quiet.
You know that there's
on that.
a small bit of conflict going on between the lion and the unicorn over some territory. It hasn't escalated into anything, but there's arguments of where exactly certain areas are in their territory, whether it's belongs to the unicorn or the lion. Sort of stuff that is passed hands from one clan to the other at the city of the Rich Frog. It was captured many years ago in a battle, but then recently, through marriage, it fell back into Lion Clan control, and they've sort of been butting heads a little bit over it. Again, nothing that's come to like full battle, but it's probably related to that. Like just sort of maybe trying to check the library or consult with Samiko, the acting Emerald champion, to sort of say like, hey, this was ours or whatever. Or they're trying to do this.
So for like a modern reference that we could kind of put it to, it's kind of like Israel and Palestine with the Gaza Strip.
Not to that level, but yeah.
Add that into the notes just because it's something to keep thought of.
Just out of curiosity, how well known are the Collot in Rokugan society? They often spoken like boogeyman, or pretty...
Yeah, I'd say it's more of depending on your view of things. They range anywhere from useless rabble to the greatest enemy that Rokugan faces, to scary boogeymen to make sure your kids go to sleep at night. It's one of those things where they are an active threat, but it's also to admit that sometimes the level of their accomplishments would cause the Empire as a whole to potentially lose face to the people in general. So a lot of it's, if they do have successes, it's not like there's people running from city to city saying like, oh, so and so was killed by the Kalat. It's very much covered up and sort of like downplayed as much as possible. Amongst samurai, they're probably a little more well known. Amongst like the peasantry, probably not as much. Just because, like I said, it's one of those things where people can't go and join them if they don't know that they exist, and if they do find out that there is, this group of people that thinks that people should rule themselves down with the hierarchy, and getting rid of the sort of strict social hierarchy, that could be very damning for the ruling class of Rokugan. So
Only takes a few seeds to start a forest.
While you're sitting there, a member of the Scorpion clan, you guys probably wouldn't recognize him, but I'm pretty sure Kage left already, but it's the sort of representative for the Scorpion clan, Bayushi Nagai. Without really realizing it, you feel a rather firm hand on your shoulder. And sort of looking up behind you, you see this it's not a big guy, but he has like this air of menace to him to an extent. Like it's something you can't quite put a finger on, like physically, but like you just, you know, maybe it's just the fact that the sort of demon mask that he's wearing, and he's half putting his hand on your shoulder. It seems as a gesture of camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Like not like in a threatening manner, but it also seems like also to keep himself steady, because he's definitely swaying a bit from a lot of sake. And he sort of looks down at you and... Crane, huh? Yeah. You guys having some problems, huh?
Having them as every other clan does.
Ah. Not like you guys. First you have this tsunami wipe out all your farmland. And now your greatest champion is dead. It's gotta suck. And he like kind of wobbly gets down like close to your ear. Another failure with the Scorpion, especially one that humiliates the Doji family, would be super devastating to you guys. And then he slaps you on the shoulder a couple of times and like stumbles off out of the room.
As a southerner, I hate this guy. Is there any way I don't know what it would be in L5R. Go ahead and get that lung out of there. John Wayne didn't eat both of them. But
Wrong too.
Is there any way to get a feel for like if he was being drunkenly stupid and just saying stuff, or if he was just accidentally quoting truth or purposefully quoting truth to spite somebody? Like, you know what I mean? Like an inside check in D&D,
Yeah,
but
I get you.
in L5R.
I would say, for the purposes of this,
What, a sentiment check?
Ooh.
Trying to look and see what sentiment does again.
it's some of the stuff in the breakdown of it being like, because I was looking at social, and I'm like, this is all things that you would do. But it makes sense, like, you're sort of trying to decide whether that was a performance or not. So, I'd say social performance, but using like the scholar, um, you know, uh,
Hmm?
like ring approaches. You know what I'm saying?
You alright?
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying not to
You want
keep.
me to use the performance with, like, if I add ranks and sentiment, I'll use that as bonuses and performance? Or.
Oh, speaking.
Get that lung out of there.
I'm dying. I'm sorry, guys.
I hope you're alright, buddy.
Somebody give me a medicine check.
I think I got that. Let me see.
Give me 1 second here.
Nope. Take a sip of water. I'll wait.
I'm trying to remember what I'm doing here.
Mm-hmm. Like, I have sentiment. I have 2 ranks in it, actually. But if I may do performance, let me see. Would that be Earth performance then? I don't know. My brother, my
Hey, I'm the only one supposed to cough like that.
The cola got crispy.
Yeah.
We keep having earthquakes.
I've been
God is
poisoned.
coughing.
There was something, and now I can't remember how it works. Where like say for example, you find a dead body and you're trying to figure out like what killed him. Like you can see that it's been sliced, so you'd use like martial arts melee as an investigation technique. So it'd be martial arts melee, but as like with a scholar approach. You know what I mean?
It's basically shifting the skills
if-
to the various approaches because, you know, martial arts melee, someone who's good at inflicting wounds would be good at analyzing them then.
Let's see.
So would you be analyzing the performance?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. To see if he was performing, to see if he, you know.
Okay.
Skilled weaponsmith is far more able to see subtle details in the pattern of a blade than the...
You did say that the Scorpion Clan liaison is here.
I'm sorry, what's that? Would you ask me?
I said, did you say the Scorpion Clan liaison is here?
Yeah, the guy that you talked to when you first arrived, Bayushi Nagai?
Yeah, I was gonna be distancing myself from the situation here to go talk to him. So here, I'm going to him.
Sorry, you're coming across all bemuffled.
I went outside to lean my head up against the freaking wall, so I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay. So you wanted to talk to that guy real quick? Yeah, for the purposes of this, I'm going to say you're trying to analyze his performance. So I mean, unless you have, if you want to go a different route, that works. But you know.
Isn't it Kashimura that is analyzing his performance?
What's that again?
Are we waiting for Kashimura to analyze the performance?
Yeah, that's what I was waiting on. Or
Oh, okay. Except that it would just be error, I suppose. The error performance, since analyze is a scholar skill and performance is a social skill.
Opportunity.
But lots of opportunity, yeah. That's an error. So technically, I could take all of them. Yeah, I'll take that strife to take 3 advantages. Just try to learn something on the side. So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
okay.
Seeing if they're lying, I can figure out something like body language or whatever.
I did not give you a TN. So go ahead, since that was a blind TN roll, you get a void point.
Thank you.
With him being as drunk as he is, it is very hard to tell whether he was, well, as drunk as he seems to be, I should say. It's very hard to tell if that was like a threat or just being a dick or an admission of something. There's really no way to read past drunken ramblings that may or may not be a sign of something greater. But I will say, with the opportunities that you got, it definitely seemed like if he was acting drunk, he should win some sort of Rokugani like performance award. Because you could smell the sake coming out of his pores, especially when he got down and whispered in your ear, like you got a little drunk just from his breath.
Alright. If he's severely intoxicated, I'll just leave it be and enjoy my dinner. If I get the feeling that he was doing it like intentionally, I'm gonna follow him for a minute. Wait a few moments and then follow him along, like about 30 feet back. Remind me what his name was?
Bayushi Nagai.
I have to add it to the list of people that I hate. There we go. Bayushi Nagai.
Do you have a Nixon list?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. There are 4 people on my list of people that I hate, and I will not tell you their names.
Hey, don't hate Kyo. People love Kyo. He has the stick.
Oh no, I love Kyo. A Kyo and a Kodo are magnificent.
I'm going to attempt to spell Bayushi Nagai. Just so I can remember his damn name if I need it.
Nagi. Bayushi.
I added
Bayushi's. I believe
I added an A to his name. There we go.
Bayushi, I don't think is a family name. That's his like rank, right? And Bayushi.
Bayushi is a family name.
Oh, it is a family name.
Do I know anything?
Yeah.
Do I know anything about him personally?
About the Bayushi family?
Yeah, something like that. Any kind of family history, anything like that. I'm just trying to decide if I want to follow this asshole or not.
They're mostly the Bushi of the Scorpion clan.
Part of me wants to say fuck it, he's drunk, and the other side is like, truth is spilling out, and I want to follow this guy.
I mean, if you're taking it as a personal insult, you could like challenge him to a duel.
Mm. If he seems to be intoxicated, I'll just let it be. If it takes that honoring, so be.
Okay. No one else was really around to see that, so the specifics anyway. So we'll just let that go. Anything else you guys want to do, like at dinner or anything?
It was mentioned that Kagai is obsessed with the Kalat. He sees them everywhere. It might be worth trying to speak to him away from others and maybe imply that we may have the same thoughts and whatnot, and see if we can get some information from him.
Oh, get it out of there.
I'm sorry, I'm still
All right, bro.
well. Let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break while I get this lung out. Sorry.
All right. No problem. I've been staring at the back for like 5 minutes now. Let's do this.
All right. Real quick. It seems like Kagai, not the Scorpion Clan guy, has left dinner already. So
Kinda sus, bruh. Grab something fascinating behavior.
I'm gonna go stick a tube down the throat.
All right. Have a good cough, my dude.
All right. I'll be back shortly.
I'll be there to hold your hair.
I shaved
My
it
bad.
all off.
Love you, my dude. Be right back. How you feeling, my dude?
A little bit better.
Good.
I didn't die, so, you know, there's that.
I am always well versed in the ways of old.
No dying, people, no dying.
I refuse.
Yeah, I'm back.
We all back?
Welcome back.
Cute.
Rob back?
Except Kiobana. Moyayri.
So unless there's anything else that you guys would like to do at dinner?
Nah. Besides just watching, like, personalities in general, see if anybody's a little extra sketchy or anything, or being extra quiet besides what they usually are, I suppose.
Everybody's just
That's
seems like they're
assuming
having a good time drinking with the the festival holiday. After relatively relaxing dinner for everybody, go ahead and remove 2 strife. Relatively relaxing. Even your cousin seemed to be enjoying himself and not giving you a hard time.
Remove an extra strife from admiring Dakota's cousin the entire night.
Sure.
Doesn't even notice the drunk guy.
I'm sorry, I was looking at that guy's pecs.
Says something.
It's like one of those weird situations where he's gonna like go into Kashimaru's room and find like a shrine to him. Is it?
No. You might find a sketch or an origami piece of him.
The next day, after some pretty sound sleep, what with the sake and everything, everybody slept pretty heavily. Those that drank.
Dang right.
At breakfast, you find that someone has arrived. Haruma Shigeki, a Emerald Magistrate of the Crab Clan, is at breakfast. A burly former scout is talking loudly to everyone around him concerning the importance of defending the Empire against Shadowland's taint. Several other samurai clearly are not impressed. You hear them talking in low tones about the frequent clashes between Shigeki and Satsume, about the lack of proper support for the war against the evils beyond the wall. But the palace is far to the north and far from such dangers. You also, now that it's sort of on your minds, you start picking up very infrequent and hushed discussion of the culotte. Apparently, Samiko, the acting Emerald champion and Ruby champion, has fought against them several times. She's been very vocal and forthright that the only thing worse than the culotte would be for its threat to become widely known.
Sounds like her toes would curl if she knew what we knew.
Unless anybody has anything that they want to do at breakfast, it would be time for your training.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, Akoto's good as well.
Your second day of training concerns weapons and takes place in the Ruby Dojo. Their instructor is Shisoro Kaharu of the Scorpion Clan. The Ruby Dojo is filled with all manner of weapons, from tiny daggers to massive tetsubus. Leaning against the far wall is a small woman dressed in red and black, wearing a simple mask that obscures her eyes with crimson patterns. She holds an item you recognize as a Jit? G-I-T-T-E? Jiti?
Jitat.
A pronged fork weapon that many magistrates carry as a symbol of their authority. In a perfect world, she says, those who disobey the Emperor's law would quietly admit their guilt and accept their punishment. She gracefully spins the Jite? She casually spins the weapon in her hand. That so few do so means you will need methods of persuasion to bring them to justice. Kagi, you would have probably some familiarity with Kaharu as a member of your clan and family.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a direct relative, but you know. She's a veteran of work in Rokyo Arwitoshi, the Scorpion-controlled City of Lies, where she served as an investigator for more than 20 years. She has mastered the Jit and can use it in any situation against almost any weapon. She goes into a bit of a lecture, describing the history and nature of weapons that samurai commonly used. The whole time she's discussing these things, you see her twirling her weapon around, very casually. Then, after a much less discussion and lecture than the law class that you had the day prior, she asks all of the students to select any weapon and attack her with it. As everyone picks a weapon and attacks her, she very easily disarms them with her weapon. It's a made-up word. It doesn't matter. It's all fantasy. It's not real. I can pronounce it however I want. It's like Dragonbjorn. It's made up. After disarming each student, she returns the favor, opting to attack the students with some of her favorite weapons among the street variety. Strange weapons for most samurai, but common amongst peasants. These include clubs, long sticks, and wooden hammers. Each of you can try and defend yourself against the sensei by making a TN2 martial arts melee check.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Long sticks are Kyo's specialty.
All right.
Get my crackers open, I'd be happy to.
Kaharu's sitting there waiting to fight Kyo as he's like, hold on, my crackers won't open. She just twirls the hammer that she has in her hand. Whenever you're ready, student. Alright, you get to keep up to 4. I'm assuming you are keeping those successes?
Yeah. Successes in that one opportunity to take away one of the strife, so I only take 1 strife.
Okay, well, you only need 2 successes, so you could just keep 2 successes in the opportunity. If you wanted.
Okay. Oh, yeah, TN2.
Yep.
Right on.
Holy shit, Akodo.
Yeah, now I get a good roll. Don't got it.
Nice.
I guess I'll take the 3 exploding successes and see if I can roll.
Okay.
Roll some more opportunities. Alright, so 4 successes in all.
Okay.
Well, the rest of that was normal.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's like one blank side on those white dice.
Yeah, exactly. And I've hit every single roll. I've hit at least one of them.
Two.
It's like the comment like, here, we're gonna give you hope. Oh no, never mind. We're gonna take it away. Fuck you, Kodo.
You spread it to me apparently.
Oh man, the Akodo curse.
Don't forget to take any strife for those kept dice.
Lulu.
You gonna keep that second?
I only need 2, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna keep the opportunity, the explosive, and the regular success. So only take 1 strife.
Okay.
He's basically beating the shit out of us with a friggin' police baton, which is kind of awesome, actually.
You guys all defended yourselves, it seems. So, I will allow, as you've successfully defended yourself against her peasant attacks, she hands you the weapon that she used. So I will let each of you add to your inventory a peasant type weapon. So like clubs, long sticks, wooden hammers, that sort of thing. If you just want to mark it on your sheet, you don't necessarily have to use it. But you know, you might want to keep it as a memento. Kage, after she attacks you, she definitely seems to give you a little wink and a nod, sort of pleased that you were able to defend against her attacks, representing a fellow Scorpion clan and family member. You didn't embarrass her, so that was good. After the weapons demonstration, She discusses dishonorable weapons, such as poisons. She says Emerald Magistrates are expected to know of poisons, including how they are used and ways to hide them. But of course you should never employ them. That would be a violation of Bushido. She relates how some of her toughest investigations in the City of Lies involved poisons, so she became something of an expert in them. After going through various signs of poisoning and different types of poisons, she concludes her training with an admonishment that as Emerald Magistrates, your greatest weapon is their unyielding duty to the Emperor. Nothing, not even honor or truth, is as important as the Emperor and the Empire. Unless you guys wish to discuss anything with her, she finishes the lecture with that and dismisses all of the students for the day.
As a healer, I would never poison someone, but I could over-heal them.
Here, take this entire bottle of aspirin. One is good. An entire bottle must be great.
Enough painkillers and you'll never be in pain again.
After... Sorry, go ahead.
I wish to speak to her.
Okay.
I will step to the side away from the rest of the students with her.
Was it something you wanted to go into whispers for? Or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kage-san. Your
Sensei-san.
performance at your Genpuku was quite fantastic.
I tried to underperform in certain instances.
We all have our role to play.
Speaking of our roles to play, you have investigated many things in your years. Perhaps you can help me with this. And hands the missive with the without the cipher to be able to decipher it. Do you know whose writing this might be or intended?
She takes the paper and looks it over. You can see her brow furrow as she's sort of looking it over. There's a small table behind her, and she sort of leans back on it, and you can see she's got her jete in her hand again, and she's just sort of fidgeting around with it as an afterthought. It just seems to be a habit. Yes, it's definitely a code of some kind, but without the cipher to decode it, I can't make heads or tails of it. Where'd you find this?
It was found in the Henry by Oji-san, who gave it to one of the magistrates I am with, therefore exposing the drop for the scorpions to others.
Her brow furrows a bit more, this time not so much with concentration, but with frustration, maybe? I will definitely let the guy know about this. It appears we are not the only ones to use this drop. This does not look like one of our codes, at least not that I'm aware of.
Bayushi-san was a little inebriated last night, so I could not explain to him what I had found.
She. Yeah. That's a common occurrence, unfortunately. But again, we all have our role to play.
Which is why I seek a clearer mind to help me. We also discovered what it seems to be the Emerald Champion, Doje Sesosome, having missives with the Colette.
That is troubling. I have to ask, how did you're here for training to be an Emerald Magistrate, and I do not claim to have all of the answers, but I thought maybe it was just your group's showing at the Genpuku ceremony. But there definitely seems to be more going on here than just favoritism. Why were you looking into these things? Like how you say one of the other members of your group found these?
There are a lot of secrets in this castle. And there are some who remain nameless who want the answers to those secrets. It is a dangerous game that I have been ordered to play.
He cocks an eyebrow, hands you the paperback. I would be wary of your position. What can seem like a pedestal could end up being the scaffolding for gallows. Beware of your status as a potential pawn in greater schemes, or even a scapegoat. It would be a shame both upon the clan and our family if you were to be used in such a way.
I agree to an extent that one must always be ready to serve in one's duty as the underhand. As I bow and go, yes, But Yoshi-san also was curious as to how some of the doji got in and out of the castle. Through the cave, the large boulder can move, and you can take a path.
Ah, yes. Keep that one under your hat. It's not a widely known secret, but it is something that some of us had to have need to use in the past. I do not know all of Doji Samutse's summit, whatever his name was, secrets. But where the scorpion?
And I found this information and decided that one of the family should, of course, know of these secretive areas.
I appreciate it. I'll be sure to pass along what is necessary to the rest of the clan. And I will keep an eye out for you as best as I can. But you are holding a bright light in a dark cave. There are a lot of eyes on you. Be wary.
And take my leave.
All right.
Boop, boop.
Boop boop. I can't believe you're gonna. Never mind. Thought I was still in whispers. Anybody else have anything that they want to do?
Just curious, who just got fucked over? Or screwed over, sorry, my language.
I don't mind the language.
Everyone.
I would just be
Everyone.
wary of drinking any more of Kyo's sake. So
Yeah, of course.
totally didn't talk to the poison master about poisoning you guys' brew.
Great. Now I get to have a Princess Bride game the next time we gotta offer a drink.
Never enter in a battle of wits versus a scorpion.
I might have a new signature weapon thanks to Okoto telling me to look at the Shadowlands book at it. I'm assuming when you mean by you're talking about like peasant weapons, you're talking about mundane is the quality for it.
No, like just let me know what you're thinking, because peasants aren't gonna have like a great club or anything like that. It's gonna be
Oh no, he pointed out the Geno, which is basically a sledgehammer.
Yep, this is a construction hammer for
Yeah.
breaking down stuff.
yep. That would be fine.
Because I was like, I was just like, I'm just gonna grab a second bow in case I break this one. It's only got 3 damage, but when you wield it two-handed, it gets a +4. And it can be used at 0 range, which is perfect.
Ooh.
Pretty handy weapon.
Yeah, that's disgusting. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was just looking at the main thing, and you're like, the Ghetto. I'm like, where the hell is it?
You guys, unless you have anything else, it is time for lunch. Small afternoon meal. There, you are given a message that your instructor for tomorrow's training has assigned some reading before the class concerning famous criminal cases from the past. It says the library contains everything you need.
Hmm. To the library we go.
The library is a testament to the many centuries of Rokugani civilization. Countless books, scrolls, and even loose papers fill the room, and you can feel the history of the Empire has solid weight in the air. A stooped individual with long black hair and a small black mask turns as you enter the section covering famous crimes, and puts down a thick book he was perusing. Ah, fellow appreciators of sordid history, the Scorpion Clan samurai says loudly with a smile. We're quite alone, so no need to whisper today. I am Bayushiago. I am a fellow Emerald Magistrate, hoping to find some records on a case that I must win. I heard whispers that you would be the ones to talk to about some information that I may have on certain activities that have taken place in this castle within the last few weeks. I wish to help you come to the proper conclusion. Tell me, what do you know of Doji Samutse's daughter?
Other than the fact that she was distant from her father before he died, and loved her mother very much, not much.
I have been fortunate to spend some time with Hiroto, and I can tell you she hated the man. She blamed him for the death of her mother, and has not mourned his passing in a way that she should. Furthermore, despite the official investigation saying that this was natural causes, I can tell you that Hiroto claims to not believe this. Yet, she has not pursued any vengeance or justice. There is virtually no better sign of guilt than this.
Weighing my words, making sure I say what I mean without muddling. While she may be not mourning properly and in a way dishonoring her father and herself, and may hate him, all of this does still sound speculative. We would have to find some kind of actual proof that she is behind it to go with the accusation. I feel whether he is deceased or not, accusing his own daughter of doing it without proof would could potentially cause a great bit of harm to everyone involved.
Unless that's the goal.
How? You have had your law course already, even though you've been in an accelerated program. He sort of says with a mild amount of derision. Proof is not what the courts are after. What matters is the Empire. What matters is witnesses. And I am not the only one that has seen her or heard her say these things. And I am certainly not the only one who has not witnessed her pursuing any sort of
Come on. Come on.
honorable justice for her father's death. I am not saying that you should go to the top of the tallest tower and shout this to the world. I'm just saying, keep it in mind.
Make sure that it is noted.
I can't help but also... It seems strange to me, considering some of the shared ties that our current acting Emerald Champion shares with Hirotu. I have no proof, but who would have gained more from the death of the Emerald Champion than the one who is now the Emerald Champion? Especially if they were working towards some shared goal. Who would be doing the investigation? What better way to get what both of them need? Hirotu's hatred for her father, Samutse's fanatical views on the rights of people to rule themselves. I'm just saying, keep it in mind.
I'm not ignoring what you said. I'm just typing it out. At least like the Cliff Notes version of it.
He turns back to his book. I believe you also have some reading to do for tomorrow's training.
I will gladly accept whatever reading material is needed and find myself a roof or a balcony to sit on. I prefer to read in the sunshine.
Did this guy introduce himself as a magistrate? Sorry.
Yes, he's an Emerald Magistrate. Which is what you guys are in training for.
Yay, training.
What?
I said, yay, training.
You guys go through and unless you have something else that you want to do, you go through and spend a little bit of time going through the reading that you were assigned. As you're leaving the library, where am I at here? Coming down the stairs, you're almost run into by a very large individual wearing the accoutrements of Crab Clan. You recognize him from breakfast in the morning. Haruma Shigeki. You can see he's in a foul mood.
It's exactly what we need. A member of my clan in a foul mood, as if they weren't already grumpy enough.
He bows like very quickly and doesn't necessarily offer an apology, but his social status being higher than yours, it's almost sort of like you guys should have got out of his way to a certain extent. Is sort of his feeling, but he's gruff and obviously the fault was his, but. He notices Kyo with some of his Crab Clan regalia, and immediately just starts venting. It's frustrating, I've been here for weeks. And all I need is more support at the wall. But these soft,
samurai out here don't see it as a threat. But, like, have you looked around? Have you noticed anything unusual? Look over there at those plants. You see how some of them are kind of withered? It's a sign of Shadowland's taint. It can be anywhere, at any time. And they don't see the threat that's right there before them. So what are you doing up here?
We are currently reading for our training tomorrow, sir.
Reading.
However, if I may inquire something of you. You mentioned the taint being anywhere. We actually happened upon goblins and an ogre on our way here.
See? That's what I've been telling them for weeks. First that, I come up here and I'm talking to Doji Samatse, the Emerald Champion. And I'm like, help us out. We're defending you. And he won't send me anything. Nothing. Then somebody offs him. And I'm like, great. Finally something good happens. I can maybe get something done. But this Ruby Champion, the acting Emerald Champion, just as bad. Wasting my time up here with these lordlings and their books and their fake fights. No idea what's around the corner. Could be anywhere. Like you said, goblins and ogres and shit. Could be right outside. Could be somebody up here, some kind of crazy cultist, trying to summon an Oni into the building. You don't know. They could be anywhere. Gotta be watching out. You know that.
I will keep my senses sharp.
Here's the thing. You gotta keep your senses sharp. But you also gotta be ready to move. Sneak up on the fuckers. Cause some of them, you guys are saying that there was an ogre out there? Yeah. Best thing to do, sneak up when it's not paying attention. Stab it in the back. No, it's not an honorable thing. Fucking Shadowlands, man. That don't count. Don't matter. You gotta be sneaky. Stealthy. Quiet. One of the best scouts. Been in the Shadowlands 4 times. One of the record holders for going further than anybody else. Alive, that is. Some people went further, but you know, not around anymore. Because I know how to be quiet when I need to. You should do the same thing. Stay downwind. Keep an eye on the shadows, even at night. From the moon. You know what I'm saying? It sort of gives you a hard slap on the shoulder. I got more shit to do. I'm out of here.
Take care on your endeavors and travels, sir. Nice deep bow.
Yeah, watch your back. He turns and gives a quick bow and very heavily, like, walks down the hall. Where are you guys heading to now?
No idea. Is anyone else here?
No, I'm just kind of amazed at the crowd. Like, now imagine the walls like Rokugani equivalent to Vietnam.
Shut the fuck up about Moon Men!
It's funny you mentioned Vietnam because one of my notes is Platoon meets Crab Clan kind of personality.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of as well.
That was very, very well played, John. Definitely enjoyed the role playing on that.
I try.
I mean, he's not wrong. It is kind of odd, you know. The tank can be anywhere, but I feel in the middle of the Emerald Champion's castle might be noticed. A lot of eyes go through those courtyards on a daily basis. So we were leaving the library. It's post lunch. Do we want to do more exploring? See if we can come up with any more answers or things to consider to try and get a definitive answer for our benefactor, because we are running out of time.
I now know for Akodo, he's kind of a bit unnerved at the what the scorpion said. One in the library.
I feel like, you know, speaking to Shatsune's daughter could be prudent, but at the same time, an unwelcome advance for conversation could be easily looked down upon or punished.
Very, very true. Not only that, but you know, going up to his daughter and said like, "Hey, do you know your father was in the Kalot? Or was conversing with people from Kalot?" Then again, it might just be a ruse of the scorpions just trying to besmirch the crane itself.
That would never happen.
Of course not. Where is his daughter at currently? Is she also a magistrate, or?
She's around the castle. But tends to be busy, going about doing other things. She's fairly high on the social rung of things. So it might be difficult to just like bump into her. But it's up to you. You can seek her out.
Sure, one of us might have an advantage in seeking out an audience with her. Kodo glances over to Ashura.
Oh, is Levitz back?
What's that?
I'm not sure if Levitz is back. I just realized he's on mute and he'd be right back up earlier.
I don't think Lavitz has come back yet.
I got distracted by a gif of a chick with a bifurcated tongue.
Okay.
I put in skull splitting to add to Bear's migraine thing, and that's in the thing for skull splitting, and it got my attention.
Um.
Uh, let me see.
As you guys are sort of traveling around, um, pretty sure if my notes are right, you all have vigilance of at least 3, correct?
Mine's only a 2.
Mine is currently a 3.
As you're continuing to travel around the castle, sort of asking questions and trying to track down Hataru, you realize that someone's been following you. It's been for a little while now, and it really hasn't occurred to you the castle has a tendency to be busy, but you realize now that, like, even at times when you guys are walking down the hall, like, alone, there's been someone at, like, the other end of the hall, like, behind you, or coming around and just constantly sort of around in the periphery. You realize now that there is someone at the other end of the hall, sort of just around the corner, out of sight, but definitely within listening distance.
Oh, we just lost Lavitz on Discord.
Oh, shoot.
Well, it's towards the end of the day. Bear's got a migraine, and we just lost Lavitz. Do we just want to end it there on that little cliffhanger for the day?
I'm okay with that.
Seems like as good a place as any to stop. Add the last little bit into the notes, and then that way it'll be the end of today's note.
Going around the corner and looking in the... Like one of you sort of sneaking up now that you've noticed it. Who wants to do this?
I'll do it.
Okay. You sort of poke your head around the corner and find Kagai, his back against the wall, and seeing you sort of pop your head around the corner to see who's been eavesdropping on them, looks up at you with surprise and mild fear. And that's where we'll end it. Kagai and Kagi. Kage. Cage. This isn't going to be a problem at all. 4 XP for everybody.
Sweet.
I think I got all of the important stuff in on notes. I did miss a few minutes there at the beginning of the training thing because I didn't realize that I had no sound on Discord, even though I was still connected to the call. But if anyone remembers anything or sees anything or wants to look over, by all means add it to it. But I think I took a pretty decent chunk of notes for the important bits that happened as we were going through.
Cool. Well, it's fun.
So, Crispy, just
Yeah.
a quick out of character question,
Yeah.
real fast. Has Hotaru already ascended to champion status? for the Crane clan.
How do you mean?
And like, I think if I remember correctly, I read one of those L5R the books that Fantasy Flight released, and it said that Hotaru eventually succeeds her father, or succeeds as the Crane clan champion. I was wondering if that's still true in this timeline.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I will double check. Um,
Guys, I'm gonna lay down.
okay.
I'll catch you later.
All right.
Have a
Yeah,
good
good
one,
one.
man. Good luck.
Don't
Yeah.
blame me.
I don't worry too much about it, Crispy. I probably got my characters mixed up. It's so easy to mix
No,
up some
no,
of these
it's
characters.
fine.
here.
It's just it's one of those things where like I'm not steeped in the lore. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it doesn't explicitly say. It just has a lot of stuff about her being busy and that sort of thing. Like it's I don't want to reveal too much. But honestly, there's a good portion of this that I am probably causing, not right now, but potentially major problems down the road as I'm sort of. Some of this shit has to just come out of my butt because it'll be like, oh yeah, this guy, he tells the PCs this, and then I'm like, I don't want to just read a paragraph of you run into the Crane Clan guy and he says about this thing and this other thing, and it's like one paragraph, and I'm like, I like the idea of this guy, so I take that paragraph and roll with it, but then we turn into a conversation, and it's like I'm filling in a lot of blanks. and then and then something else pops up later, and it's like, that guy did it! And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't mean that, but that's part of the fun.
Butterfly effect.
Yeah. But I don't, like, this is one of my problems with modules, is it's so much easier when I'm making it all up.
They give you enough details to, if you play straight through it as written, you can get through it concisely, but at the same time, people ask questions and take different paths that they don't always prepare for.
Yeah, I'm not good at, like, just I don't know, a peek behind the curtain a little bit, like the dining scene where it was like, you guys are over here, this and that and the other thing. It's like, it says, hey, this is a great opportunity for social role-playing. Here's some things that they might discuss. And it's like, okay, who's saying that? And then you guys are like, who said that? And I'm like, shit, I don't fucking know. It doesn't say that. It just has a list of things. So then I gotta make something up. And then that guy's like, completely changes the tone of, the thing.
I really enjoy this system so far, though. Like, it's definitely... I was trying to, like, when I was getting a chance, when it was slow at work, I was reading a couple, like, short blurbs and, like, bits of stories that are part of the L5R stuff. That's pretty cool.
But, yeah, and that's one of the things, like, I'll tell you right now, like, especially once we get out of the module stuff, I will probably screw stuff up royally compared to, like, the actual, like, lore of the world. So I hope that's not, like, a problem. But I tend to, if I'm going to use somebody that's, like, a character, I will generally do research into their history and stuff, but it's problematic at this point because you do a Google search for, a character in L5R, and with FFG sort of resetting the timeline, I don't know how much of it is like, oh, this is FFG's. Like, a lot of it's from the previous edition, like, in the card game and stuff, the old timeline. And I don't know. Like, there's nothing in any of the books about like the Spider Clan, and I was like, ooh, what's going on with this little symbol on the map? But then I realized my map that I was using at first was from a much later date, like timeline, like in world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like in this timeline, there's no Spider Clan because apparently Spider Clan was like a Shadowland. I don't know. It gets crazy.
Well, kind of like with Star Wars. This star map still has Alderaan on it, but Darth Vader blew that the hell up, so it's not there anymore. It's now an asteroid field.
Yeah, but that's like I'm more comfortable with Star Wars because I'm much more. One, there's more information there. Like doing a Google search, it's like, oh, this planet, and then it'll like on wikis, it breaks down like this is legends, this is whatever. You know what I mean? And even then, like, generally speaking, when I run a Star Wars game, I'm usually the biggest nerd in the room. Usually, not always. So I'm much more comfortable making shit up because I figure if I don't know it, probably like the chances are good that the people I'm playing with probably don't. You know what I mean? And that's not like, oh, I fucking know everything. But this is like the opposite. Like everybody in this, I feel like knows more about the system, the world, the characters than I do. And I'm supposed to like be the one moving all the pieces around. You know? And it's scary, but I enjoy it. So.
Oh, you're doing a good. You're doing a great job on it so far.
Well,
like I said, just
if there's anything in particular that I royally screw up on, just let me know, and I'll do what I can to correct it for the sake of like immersion and enjoyment. But I'll be honest, chances are once we're done with the module, I'll probably be keeping some of the characters from here because, it's kind of pointless to like, oh, make a relationship with, you do this thing for Samiko and never hear from her again. But chances are going forward, it'll be a lot more just made up stuff. Because then it's easier for me to bullshit my way through it.
no worries.
I'm actually enjoying and definitely going to just continue the trend of taking session notes because that way we've got stuff to go back to. Especially with this module being an investigation, it's nice to have the notes to go back to details.
Yeah.
And if we have an odd week in between like we did last week where somebody gets stuck at work or can't make the game, it helps refresh.
Yeah. I'm of two minds about the notes, especially like I like the fact that I can read your notes, but it's also one of those things where it's like 4 sessions from now when I'm like, oh yeah, that's the guy that you met in the hallway, and it's like, no, that was a different guy. No, it was this guy, and you're like, well, according to my notes, and it's like, fuck, well.
Oh no, I'm gonna try and avoid that
because I'm a hack and a fraud.
It's just more. But no, it's just so even if I'm just taking quick basic notes like, oh, got into battle with this, blah blah, just so we have something to run back to, it's like a recap at the beginning of an episode.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, that's one of the only reasons that I like record the games these days. Nobody really like watches them or anything, but it's handy for me sometimes to like go back when I'm caught up on podcasts or if something happens. I'm like, where did we end the last session? I can go back and just watch bits and pieces of it and be like, okay, I said this. I need to make sure that I remember that.
Oh, I'm sure I butchered some of the names in my notes.
Yeah, because I pronounce everything 100% right.
Well, Kalat, I was like Kalat. That'll work.
I think it's Kolat.
I mean, I figured I'd spelled it close enough that we'll know what the hell it says, even if it's wrong.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
Yeah. All right. Oh. Well, thanks, guys. I hope you had a good time.
I had.
Definitely. All right, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you later.
Take care.
Later, man. Hey.